YouTube, what is crack-a-lack? And it is Scott from SemiPro here, and I have quite honestly been trying to film this video for about 4 hours now. We're trying to get this new camera setup going like my partner Ryan has had in his recent videos. I'm trying to be on that same wave so we can get more of our videos monetized. But unfortunately, I've been having technical difficulty after technical difficulty today, so that project will have to be put on hold for another day. I apologize. Anyways, we do have an awesome video today. We are going to continue our series of division by division breakdowns in the NFL, and today we have what very well could be the best division in football, the NFC West. This division, though, even though it is very good, is pretty much a crapshoot when determining how things are going to stack out. The 49ers obviously have an amazing roster. They're returning most everybody, even added a couple new pieces. The Seahawks have Russell Wilson. That's really all that needs to be said there. The Cardinals have improved a lot. Kyler Murray is looking like he's going to be a very good quarterback, and they have a bright young head coach in Cliff Kingsbury. And the Rams, we've seen what they can do when they are at full strength. So this division is a really hard one to pick. At first place, though, I do have the San Francisco 49ers. This 49ers team obviously went to the Super Bowl last season and demonstrated just how deep their roster is. They are loaded at most positional groups, and I think they had a really good draft this season. I think they're going to finish 13-3 and win this division, but that said, there absolutely is potential for a Rams-esque Super Bowl hangover here. I don't think this team is a lock to be one of the best teams in the NFL, but they certainly have the roster and the coaching to do so. The three games that I do have them dropping are at the Jets, at Seattle, and at Arizona. I know the Arizona and Seattle losses will seem reasonable to most people, but I know I'll get a lot of pushback on the Jets loss. I know that the Jets are obviously not a better team than the 49ers. I just see this as a potential loss for them going to New York. I'm really high on Sam Darnold this year. I think the Jets will be better than their record, and I do think that game has lost potential all over it for them. The really key games for them this season will be those two against the Seahawks. I do think they will be in a race to win that division, and also some really key games will be those games against the Cardinals. I think they split that series as well. The Cardinals are going to be a lot better than they were last season. Next up, we have the Seattle Seahawks, who I think will finish at 12-4 in second place in the division. I do think this team will be a little bit better than they were last year because I think the offensive weapons have upgraded a little bit. I think DK Metcalf is going to take another step forward this season. Like I said, 12-4, 4-2 in the division. Really key games for them here are going to be those San Francisco and Arizona games, obviously, but also down the stretch, they have a little bit of kind of a trap schedule with the Giants, Jets, Redskins, and Rams. All of those are teams that probably aren't going to be great, but all of them are capable of winning on any given Sunday. So they will definitely have to tighten up and finish their season strong because they cannot view those as gimme games at all. For their 4 losses, I have them losing to the Vikings, the Cardinals, the Bills, and the 49ers on the road. The 49ers series is going to be huge. I do think they will split it though. If you look at this Seahawks team, they always find a way to be in the mix. Is this the best roster in the NFL? No, but Russell Wilson legitimately adds, 5 or 6 wins to a team every single year. He can carry that offense on his shoulders all season long. The 49ers have a much better all-around team, but I still think that the Seahawks can absolutely give them a run for their money at the division crown. Next up, in third place, we have the Arizona Cardinals, a team that I think vastly improved this offseason and is going to be pretty good, but unfortunately this 9-7 record that I have them finishing with won't be good enough to make the playoffs in my full NFL season predictions, which is a video I will release after all these division predictions are over. So I do have them losing week 1 on the road to the 49ers. I think that's kind of a given. The Niners are just a really hard team to beat at home. And then they go on a little bit of a win streak, actually not even a little bit, a nice win streak with wins versus the Redskins, versus Detroit, at Carolina, at the New York Jets, at Dallas, versus Seattle, and versus Miami. There are a couple tough games in here, but for the most part, this early part of their schedule is really easy, and I think they'll be able to keep that momentum going and rack up some wins. The second half of their season is where things get a little bit tricky. I think they're going to drop a lot of games. They've got to play Buffalo, who's going to be a really good team. They've got to go on the road to Seattle, damn near impossible. On the road to New England, I think they can drop that one, but again, all depends on how good Stidham is. Then they've got to go on the road to the Giants. That's going to be a really big game that I'm really looking forward to. Two nice young quarterbacks in Daniel Jones and Kyler Murray duking it out. Then they've got to play the Eagles, who always find a way to finish the season strong. Then they've got to play the 49ers, who I actually think they can beat at home, but then they've got to go on the road and play the Rams. This is kind of their make or break game for the postseason here, and I don't know if they have it in them to go on the road and win that big game at this stage. But overall, as long as their offensive line improves a little bit, this is a team that can absolutely beat any team on any given Sunday. Look for a breakout season from Kyler Murray and look for this Cardinals team to actually make a lot of noise. If they weren't in the NFC West, I can almost certainly say this would be a playoff team, but they just have a ton of tough divisional games here. And lastly, we have the Rams finishing in last place in this division. I have them finishing at 6-10. And, this team really is the wild card here. We've seen what they can do with a very similar roster to what they have now. They can be electric, and Sean McVay has shown that he can be a very good coach. But, last season we kind of saw that big drop off for them, so we don't really know what we're going to get this season. Until they show me that they are back for certain, I have a hard time believing that this isn't just another Falcons situation where the offense finds a way to make it click for one season and then kind of falls off the map. But they could end up being really good again, so I don't know, and that's why I say they are the wild card here. They damn well could end up winning this division, but they also just as likely could be last place. They start off the season with 2 NFC East games. I think they drop both of those, and then they've got to go on the road to Buffalo, where I think they drop another game. I think they drop games at San Francisco, at Miami, versus Seattle, at Tampa Bay, versus San Francisco, at Arizona, and at Seattle. Their divisional schedule alone does them absolutely no favors, and like the Cardinals, if the Rams were in another division, I'd be a lot more confident saying that this is definitively a playoff team, because the Rams do have a really nice roster. So those are my NFC West division predictions. If you enjoyed this video, click that thumbs up button. It really does help us out a lot. And if you are new to the channel, click that subscribe button. We post awesome sports content every single day. NFL, MLB, NBA, anything sports related you want, we have here. Thank you for watching and have a blessed rest of your day.